Hey guys, uh, hello everyone, and good evening to all of you, and welcome in this session of Oliveboard. This is Dr. Pradyumna Sharma this side, and today we are here to have a small discussion related to the syllabus, exam pattern, and everything related to accounting and finance. So, So many of you are actually associating with me for the very first time. My name is Pradyumna Sharma and I am PhD in Commerce. I have been part of many other prestigious curriculums during my academics. I'm a chartered accountant as well as a company secretary. I have qualified the national eligibility test also and been part of the Shri Ram College of Commerce and IIM Bangalore during my academic journey. During my research, been part of the two very prestigious foreign universities. One is Yale and another one is Harvard. I will be delivering accounting and finance in the JIB, but if you crack it, I hope that you'll crack your JIB in this particular first attempt and you will be part of the CIB journey with me, and I will be taking care of the ABFM and HRM in that particular batch also. Now, our objective is pretty simple, very clear here that how to crack the AFM paper. The agenda of today's discussion is just to have a clear insight into the syllabus as well as the concept, what type of nature is there for a particular module, many things. This is going to be the most important discussion of this particular batch because when we want to achieve something, we have to be very clear about the route map, that we have to be very clear about the syllabus, what type of paper are actually IIBF asking, what is the level of examination. So we have to be very aware of these things. So this is a very important discussion. Because it is important, many of you are connected with me through the YouTube. So you can download this particular discussion PDF from the YouTube class PDF section from the courses tab of the Oliveboard application. Now, let's dive deep. Let's understand each module and its nature one by one. Let's look into it. So, first of all, people who are associated to the app, and many of you are associated through the uh, YouTube, let me know that my audio video is coming to you perfectly. Audibility, visibility is good. Any concern, any issue in that, let me know. And during the discussion, whenever you feel that you want to understand few things more in depth, let me know in the chat section so we can have some additional discussion on that. See, moduling. Module A is all about basic of accounting. This is basic accounting. And you can call it as the most important module of your syllabus. It's around weightage of 25 to 30 marks. See, that will be the key feature of my batch of this accounting and finance discussion. That will be the key, that we will always discuss everything from the examination perspective. We will not be having anything like let's look into that also, which is also not part of the syllabus, but we will be diving deep into few things which are not there in the curriculum. We will not be doing that. We will be covering everything which is relevant to crack the exam. What type of questions from this first module appears in the exam? So obviously, the major part is conceptual. Sorry, major part is conceptual. Second, numerical. Now we have to be very clear about what does it mean by numerical when it comes to accountancy. Numerical in accountancy means a very clear thought process that they are asking about journal entries. Let me tell you few topics in the module A. Like from these first three topics, in the name of numerical, they ask about journal entries. I am listing only numerical pointers. But journal entry is something which is conceptual. We should not count it as a numerical. But normally, as a banker, we always presume that journal entry is also something like numericals. Okay. Then from the bank reconciliation, impact study is asked. When it comes to the term impact study, it means in exam they will give you a transaction and they will ask its impact, the impact of the transaction on cash book or passbook. Only two accounting documents are discussed in bank reconciliation, and impact study is the core of the questions from the bank reconciliation, that what should be added, what should be reduced. That's the impact study. Then there is a rectification of error, adjustment, and closing entry. Again, a topic which is based on journal entries. Again, journal entry is considered as a part of numerical discussion, but technically it is not like that. Journal entry is something which is conceptual discussion. If you have the concepts in your head, making a journal entry is not going to be a difficult task for you. Then depreciation and its accounting. This is something which is totally focused on computation, formula based computation. It's a formula based calculation kind of topic. So this is the only topic where pure numerical will be there. Other than that, all these topics are purely conceptual. There is no numerical. Only bill of exchange is a topic where there are two topics are like there. There is a possibility of one numerical. The concept is called tenure computation, and there is a possibility of journal entry related to discounting of bill from the bank. So that's the complete insight into the module A. One very important thing which sometimes bankers misinterpret when it comes to the preparation of the module A. Sir, why we have not studied? That's the common query of every banker. Why we have not studied the accounting standards in detail? Let me give you a very clear disclosure about it. We are not going to discuss accounting standards in detail. Let me tell you why. There are accounting standards, there are Indian accounting standards, and there is IFRS, 32 accounting standards, because we don't know what accounting standard IIBF going to ask in detail in the exam. Then 41 Indian accounting standard and 15 IFRS. That makes the number you can observe, that makes it around 90, 40, 30, 70, 73, and almost 88 to 100 topic, just to make sure 4 to 5 marks in the exam. The weightage is not more than that. I don't think this is a smart way of preparation when you have only 4 to 6 months of the preparation. Because in that case, we have to discuss accounting standard for 1 month, and you have three other papers to appear for. So we will prepare the accounting standard and Indian accounting standard and IFRS in a selective manner. those accounting standards which are most probable, considering the banking sector, considering the perspective of IIBF, but again, selective only, not everything in each detail, because that's something which is not practically possible, and even we should not, even you should not think of it. Because if you devote 30 days only in the preparation for the 4 to 5 marks, then other 95 marks may require uh, separate kind of commitment from you. Now, this is the nature of module A. Now, there is a third category of questions also nowadays, which is called questions based on statement. Now, these questions are actually considered difficult. The reason behind it is because those statement based questions evaluates your thorough knowledge, complete knowledge set about a particular point. And that is why this batch is very important, because you have to focus on understanding. If you put your commitment into memorizing, things will become difficult for you. You have to put all your effort for the understanding perspective. Just try to learn new things. Don't presume that this is difficult, because as a banker, majority of you belongs to non-commerce background. Being a non-commerce candidate does not mean that you cannot, because for example, you are from a science background, but you are comfortable in English. Your English is not your core subject area. You are comfortable in many other things which you have not studied. We have never studied sports, but we are comfortable in sports. Something like that. This is something new. Because it is new, it may feel a little bit of kind of uh, headache to you, that okay, new things we have to learn, we have to look into the new concepts. But okay, that's the beauty of these examinations. That is why we have adopted to appear for these exams. If everything is already known, then obviously there is no need of the classes and of me and of the IIBF. Then you already know. Remember, out of the four papers, this may feel, in terms of content, this is newest to you. This may feel toughest to you. When there is something which feels toughest, obviously you have to give some extra time to it. So, some statement-based question which will check your thorough knowledge related to a particular concept. We will also dive deep into that how much weightage of the how much category is there in your exam. We'll look into that. But that's the module A in detail in front of you. Let me know. If you have any doubt, any query, anything related to module A in your mind, tell me. Then let's talk about the module B. You can put your queries at the app as well as the YouTube also if you have anything in your mind. Then about the module B. See, module B looks like advanced level of accounting. It is advanced accounting. By nature, it looks like advanced, but I assure you, when you study it, you will feel comfortable in this in comparison to the module A. Module A may feel a little complex to you, but you will enjoy module B. Weightage of module B is around 20 to 25 marks. And the nature of questions from here also, obviously, the conceptual part will be more. There is also some numericals. Now, whenever I say numerical, especially in module A and in module B, whenever I say numerical, assume it as a that there is a format also, there is journal entries also. These things are included that impact study. And third category is a statement base. Now, chapter by chapter, if we look into it, balance sheet equation. Balance sheet equation, again, a very easy topic. And the majority of question from this particular topic will be based on impact study, that how a particular transaction will affect the balance sheet of the organization. Final accounts, simply a topic which is totally based on formats, plus there is a calculation called cost of goods sold. These are the two major highlights of this particular topic. This combination of these two chapters, that is company accounts, it have around 10 to 12 marks of weightage in your paper. So you can assume that this is the highest weightage combination of topic here. Now, you have to be very smart when you prepare this. There is a possibility of two type of questions. One, purely conceptual based questions. The weightage of that is around 7 to 8 marks. And then there is a journal entry kind of topics or journal entry kind of questions. And the weightage of that is around 4 to 5 marks. This is the nature. Now, what normally a banker do? Banker makes mistake in the module B and makes it unnecessarily difficult for themselves. They are highly focused, highly committed to it. Like for a week, they are engaged only in journal entries and ignoring that weightage of conceptual part. Don't do this. You have to be very smart when you prepare. Things which will fetch you good marks, you have to focus more on that. Things which will fetch you low marks but requires more effort, it's not smart way, because as a banker you have 9 hours working also in a day. Working 9 hours a day, you have to be very smart with your preparation, because if for example you are attending a lecture on a particular day, there have to be something concrete learning out of it. There have to be something in terms of marks, like okay, today I have secured in a day preparation, one day I have prepared, 1 hour I have attended the lecture. At least if this question comes in the exam, I can score 2 marks out of it. That idea, that attitude of preparation have to be there in your mind when you prepare. Then the easy topic of cash flow, fund flow, a very easy kind of questions, like classification kind of questions comes from there. That a particular transaction is classified into what category. So that categorization is there in chapter. That classification we will learn. Banking company accounts, again, a topic which is totally based on format. So you can observe that module B is highly based on formats and classification. In cash flow, fund flow also there is a format. So this is some, and then a very easy topic, CBS. You guys works on Finacle and banks or many other type of uh, uh, CBS systems in your bank. So this is module B for you. You can see in the name of numerical, there is a possibility of that impact study, that calculation of cost of goods sold, and then this journal entry. Only this is possible in the name of numerical from module B. Tell me anything you would like to ask from module A and module B. Anything. At least be responsive. I'm not getting any response from any one of you. You have to be responsive. This is a paper where two-way communication is the key. This is the time. This is the day where we are actually trying to be familiar with each other. Because if it is like you are not participating, if you are not saying anything, even like said, see, Mr. Nayak have just said there's no doubts are there. So even that communication will make this particular batch a dialogue driven batch. Because if it is not happening, then it's like I'm the only, and I will assume that everything is conveyed properly. So at least try to create dialogues, because more you uh, More you talk with me, more insight I would be able to provide to you during the discussions. Then it comes to a topic called finance, a module called financial management, that is module C, highly numerically oriented module, a module which is numerical, highly based on formulas. So around 25 to 30 marks of weightage is there. 25 to 30 marks of the weightage. And normally you will find only two type of questions from there. One is conceptual, but remember, even after being so dominated by the numerical topics, still module C will at least fetch you around 12 to 15 marks of the conceptual part. So you should not totally ignore it. It should be on your back of the mind that okay, not only the numerical but the conceptual part is also important. Then obviously this will dominate in terms of numerical this particular module, and believe me, it's not difficult, it's easy. If you adopt this particular module as your key area, like okay, I will put more and more effort into it. If you put more and more effort into it, cracking this paper will become comparatively more easier for you. Many of the bankers try to avoid this module, and that's the biggest mistake they actually make. So numerical weightage is around 15 marks out of this, and this is something which is purely a calculation kind of numerical, so you need calculators for that. So like topics like ratio, totally formula driven. Now see, sometime what happens when we try to learn ratios, there are hundreds of ratios in a particular business. We have to focus whatever is there in our syllabus, not only calculation. What is the utility of that ratio, how those ratios are used by a decision maker? For a very simple example, as a banker you must have heard many a times about PE ratio, that is price earning ratio. Calculation is very simple. Calculation is very simple. Market price divided by earning. That's the P ratio. But what is the use of that? How to take decision by using that particular ratio? That's the key for the uh, examination. Then interest, annuities, EMI, again, totally based on formula. More than the formula, it is based on calculator shortcuts. So I will be teaching you many shortcuts, but it is your duty to practice them. You need to have calculator with you and you have to practice them. That interest, annuity and EMI topic will give you 4 to 5 marks in exam, and there is no problem in scoring those 5 marks specifically. Then there is a bond valuation, or we call it as a YTF. It is also called as a bond valuation, a topic which actually misguides many bankers. Bankers assumes it as a purely numerical, but it's a little different. The weightage of this particular is conceptually 4 to 5 marks, and numerically it have around 2 to 3 marks of the weightage. Okay, numericals are important, but numericals in bond valuation is not on the driving seat. Concepts are on driving seat. This first topic was purely conceptual. There is no numerical into it. Forex is also purely conceptual. There is normally no numerical, but we will be covering one numerical also. We will be covering one numerical also. That one numerical we will be covering in that. Then capital structure is format driven. This is a very interesting topic. It's a format driven topic. If we can remember the format, things will become easy. And cost of capital is purely a formula driven topic. Then again, capital investment is actually related to formula plus process. And in both these topics, like capital structure, cost of capital, and capital investment, decision making is very important. So they do ask decision making. So obviously there is a calculation involved, but decision making is also equally important. So even if sometime if we feel uncomfortable with the calculation, we should not avoid the decision making. At least when conceptual question comes in the exam, we should be aware of that, that okay, decisions we could take out of it. Total weightage out of these capital investment and capital structure and cost of capital is around, the weightage is around 6 marks. So it is important, and obviously for 6 marks, it requires the effort of at least 3-4 lectures. So 3-4 lectures we will be having related to these, and those 6 marks we will be making sure out of it. This is purely a conceptual topic. This is also only there is a topic called Tandon Committee. Tandon Committee report. And on that Tandon Committee report, there is a numericals based on formula. So you could observe that this particular module is highly dominated by the formula. So whenever we study these topics, have that habit of revising those formulas once in a week. So when you keep revising those formulas once in a week till your examination, that becomes stable in our memory. Derivative is all about conceptual thing. So you could observe that module C is highly dominated by numericals, formulas, but there is a good probability of scoring excellent marks out of it. Only an additional commitment is required when we prepare module C. Don't presume that okay, this is highly dominated by numerical, so it will be difficult for us. No, but yes, it will require a little bit more effort when we study module C. It's not like easy to grab. It's something which require more and more practice to be familiar with these discussions. So after a tough module, there is an easy module which is actually classified into two columns. One is tax, another one is cost. Tax have the weightage of 10 marks, cost have the weightage of 12 to 15 marks. So that is tax and cost. Tax, this is all about concept and memorization, because here you have to remember the provision. Application is not there in your syllabus. Taxation, selected part of the taxation is there in your syllabus, which is related to the memorization. So you have to remember things when it comes to the tax and GST or complete taxation portion in your syllabus. Then these two topics provides the possibility of formula based numerical. Formula based numerical. Other than that, costing part is more of application driven. In exam, they ask things that how to apply, where to apply, which costing method is to be applied, which costing technique is to be applied. So this is comparatively a easy module to score good marks. These are the four modules A, B, C, and D. Tell me. Classification, understanding related to what is conceptual, what is numerical part, where we have to put more and more concentration or commitment. Tell me, is this clear? Is this clear to you? Any doubt, any query in this? Anything you would like to ask? Everything is clear? Fantastic. Now let's look into few more things because some people are also associated with me through the YouTube. So if you have not joined me, you can join me through the Super Elite plan. Why Super Elite is important and what will be our approach? Let's look into it. What will be the batch approach? How we will be covering so that you have clarity that what we are going to cover in that Super Elite plan. Okay. See, first of all, understand the difficulty level of each module from a banker's perspective. Easiest module is D. For a banker, module D you will feel easy, then B, then C, and then A. That is from easy to tough. Okay. How we will be approaching? We will be covering in batch. This is from easy to tough. In batch, we will be covering things A, then B, then C, and then D. Why? Because A and B are related to each other. So we have to study them cumulatively. Now, in Super Elite plan, we will be covering our syllabus in four different series or four different rounds will happen related to the batch. There will be round one, then round two, then round three, and then finally round four. Round one is foundation batch, where all the modules we will be covering concept. Concepts of each and every module will be covered in round one. Then what will happen in the foundation batch? These concepts will be discussed in detail. That will be a detailed discussion, like everything, every aspect will be covered in detail. Then round two is crash. So people who are subscribing through the Super Elite, they will have the access to all the four rounds. Okay. Then there will be a crash discussion. Crash means again we will be revising concept. It's a revision. So whosoever already studied the foundation batch, that revision will actually make, because as a banker we are engaged in a bank for like 9 to 10 hours. So sometimes we are unable to revise. Module A we have discussed in the December. In the month of March, we have never revised the module A. So as a faculty, I will be revising all the four modules, but a little bit in a quick manner. Then in the round three is MCQ. Around 1200 MCQs I will be covering in this round related to this particular paper for both all the module A to module D, at least 300 MCQ for each module. 300 MCQ, this is the module number. For each module, we will be covering around same number of questions. And then finally, in the round 4, we will be covering a capsule batch. Again, a revision of concept, but it will be a quick exam oriented revision. So these four things will be covered in this. This will be our way towards the examination. And remember, these examinations have the nature where only concept will help you to crack it. So concept is the key. Yeah. So if you have only AFM pending, so this is you can subscribe the batch through the master batch. There is an option of master batch in Oliveboard where only single paper, if one paper is pending, you can join me through that master batch. That master batch is like super elite plan of a single subject. So you can join me through that system. That is possible. You can join me for that AFM only, but we have to be very consistent. See that IIBF have made things very difficult nowadays. So we have the only thing which could get us through is the consistency. We have to be very consistent, attending the daily lecture, revising it on a daily basis. That's the key. Because, for example, if someone is appearing for all the four papers, that's the first attempt, for example, now, I know that attending 4 hours lecture and then revising all those four lectures again is not possible. As a banker, we don't have that much time. So I just want to tell you that if, for example, you attended the lecture in 7 p.m. evening, for example, you attended in the morning 8 a.m. we will be, for example, having the lecture. So next day, before coming into the class, early morning for the 10 minutes, just look into the PDF that what we have discussed yesterday. If you follow that rule, that okay, what is discussed in the last lecture, let's give it a look only to the PDF, need not to watch the video again. Just look at the PDF which I share. If you look at that PDF, when you come into the next class, you will feel that connectivity that okay, this is something which we have discussed yesterday. And if you maintain that routine consistently till your exam, I guarantee you, I'm not warranting you, I'm guaranteeing you that you will be able to crack your paper easily. Just 10 additional minutes before coming into the class. That's important. Yeah, Ruchi. So this time we will crack it through. Don't worry. 48 only 2 marks is something which is uh, so see that additional push, that additional consistency will be able to get us through. Now, if we observe this particular attempt, and if we try to design the exam pattern accordingly. So exam pattern tells us that only three type of questions were there in the exam. Many of you have actually appeared for this attempt. Correct me if I am wrong at some place. There were conceptual questions, which is like if you know the concept, you will get the answer. There are numericals, obviously, and when I say numerical, numerical includes journal entry, numerical includes format applications, and then there is a statement-based question. Around 40 marks of the paper was based on concepts, pure concept application. Then this combination is around, including numerical, journal, and formattings. Around 25 to 30 marks was there. And then around 30 marks of the paper belongs to the statement base. Because around 30 marks of the paper was based on some statements, this attempt people were of the opinion that exam was very difficult. It is not difficult. The problem is that when we prepare for an exam, we highly focused on memorizing the things. Whenever a paper have a 30% portion of statement driven topics, we have to be focused on the concept. Our focus have to be there on concept, not on the linings or the wordings. We have to put more effort towards understanding. Don't just memorize. Or I must say in this paper, don't memorize. Just try to understand each and every concept. If you understand it, paper will feel easy to you. But if you want to memorize things and if the same lines were not written in the same language in the exam, it may look like a difficult question to you. Don't do it. Majority of people who have tried to memorize or just grasp whatever is written on the pages, if you just we call it as a rotta kind of education, that if you are doing that, this paper will become difficult for you. But if you put all your efforts towards understanding that, okay, this is happening and why this is happening, what are the rules of this? Accountancy is all about rule based things. Accountancy is all about rule based. So if you focus on those rules, those calculator shortcuts, if you put a little more effort to that, believe me, this particular paper will be able to give you at least 60 plus marks in a very average preparation. That I assure you. Okay. Now, if you have any doubt, anything, because I have not included any academic discussion into today's part of the discussion, because first of all, we have to be very aware, we have to be very familiar with the concept, and we have to very familiar with the syllabus, that what type of syllabus is there, what is the pattern, what are the weightage of the topic, what does it mean by numericals in the syllabus. Numericals is not something which will decide your result. The maximum weightage is around 20-25 marks. So our core focus should be on concepts. More focus should be on concepts. I got it. I got it. That's the issue. That's why in the crackers batch, we will be practicing those type of questions this time. See, earlier in the accounting paper, they just before this attempt, just before this particular, before the November 25, IIBF do not ask, never ask statement based questions in the accountancy paper. This time, this is the first time they ask these statement driven questions, that too of the 30-35 marks weightage. So that's the unique experiment done by the IIBF. That's the first time. So this time when we will be practicing those 1200 MCQs, majority part of those 1200 will be focused on those four statement questions as well as the numericals also. So that if IIBF do some more uh, experiment, like for this attempt they ask like 30 marks or 35 marks numerical they are asking. We have to be ready for that. Now that uh, intent of IIBF is clear, that they are going to make things difficult for the banker to crack the JIB. So we have to be prepared accordingly. We have to dive deep little more into the few things. We have to practice few things more. We have to go beyond the Macmillan book, because in this attempt, at least 10 to 20 marks part is out of the Macmillan book syllabus. It was not there. Those topics were not there in the Macmillan recommended book, which is recommended by the IIBF. So we have to be very aware and prepared for that, that things may go out of the syllabus also, and we have to prepare accordingly, that anything which is in the name of topic is there, we have to cover that in our preparation. So we will be doing that in the batches. You can join me through the super elite, and if only one paper is pending, you can join me through master batch. We'll meet from Tuesday. uh, I think our timing is in morning. We will be having our lectures at the morning 8 a.m. and then on Sundays, so I think there is no issue related to timing. So we'll meet in the morning 8 a.m. and we will be covering all the topics in details. Till then, have a great evening. If you have any doubt, any query related to any of these things, please tell me. We can have a discussion on that. But that syllabus, that insight into the module, that clarity about numerically or what does it mean by numerical, we have to be very aware. You should always have one perception in your mind, that your conceptual study should be more, and you should not indulge yourself, or you should not become obsessed with journal entry making, or uh, uh, numerical practices. Don't be obsessed with that, because if you become that psychology, if there is in there in your mind, then you will never get the confidence, because you will always feel, okay, I have not practiced that topic, I have not practiced this topic. We have to be very, very clear that concept is the key. If I get the concept, I can easily score 60. Numerical, accounting standard, depth of the accounting standard, nothing can stop me from scoring 60 marks. And that's the ultimate target I have in my mind. I have all the four paper pending, or I have only one paper pending, it doesn't matter. My target is clear. I have to focus my studies highly on the conceptual clarity. So thank you guys. Thank you very much. If you have anything to ask, let me know. Or let's conclude. We'll meet on Tuesday morning and we'll cover our first topic. We'll learn how to make a journal entry from the first lecture onwards. Thank you. Bye bye. Have a great evening. Thank you.